Hello, my name is Nia Tyler, and today I wanted to discuss my findings and my recommendations of which derivative instrument should be used to hedge Delio's exposure to foreign currency risk. In my graph that I created for the foreign exchange rates, I used Ethiopian birrs to US dollars to show that fluctuation can exist for exchange rates. So, as we know, exchange rates can fluctuate on a day to day basis. So, basically, I did an average of the rates of each month and I used that number. So, in my graph, I noticed very slight fluctuations from month to month, but I noticed a big difference between the months of September 2017 and October of 2017. In September, that rate was 0.027, and in October, that rate was 0.0370. Um, I'm not exactly sure what caused that big of a difference at that specific time, but I know that there are several factors that can play into the fluctuations, like purchasing power, economic performance, and money supply, and so forth, so on. But my recommendation for Delio was based on, of course, my graph that I created, but mainly what part did Delio play into like whether it was buying or whether they were selling. And as we know, the difference between forward contract and the option currency options is the obligation of the buyer and or the seller. So in this case, Delio would be considered the buyer because they were buying the vitamins from the foreign country, from the Ethiopian supplier, if you will. I believe that the currency options would be less riskier for the seller, or from a seller's standpoint. So I believe that Delio should choose the forward contract as their derivative tool for hedging for foreign currency risk. One example that I used in my documentation is that under the forward contract, if the rate is more than the maturity rate of the contract, Delio will be obligated to still purchase the vitamins. Delio neither has a gain nor a loss. But if the maturity rate of the contract is more than the current rate, then Delio will have a gain. So I'm seeing a win-win if they don't lose money whenever the current rate is more. Then it's a win-win. So if Delio chooses the currency option, they have the right but not the obligation, right? So the obligation to buy or sell will cause the premium to be more than it would for the forward contract, I believe. And that causes them to lose money, whether or not the contract is being honored. So, if Delio chooses the forward contract, it could possibly solve the issue of the company receiving negative effects on their earnings. So, with that being said, Delio should definitely choose the forward contract as their hedging option to reduce their risk of losing money.